Most holy name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, to whom all holy praise is due, the Lord of the worlds. Most holy name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, to whom all holy praise is due, the Lord of the worlds. We forever praise and we thank Him for coming to us and raising in our midst a divine leader, teacher, and guide. His Messiah, the exalted Christ, the Lamb of God, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. We forever praise and we thank Him for coming to us and raising in our midst a divine leader, teacher, and guide. His Messiah, the exalted Christ, the Lamb of God, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Now, I want to start with page 31, Message to the Black Man. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, "It is Allah God Himself, His will and His purpose, that we shall know ourselves. Therefore, He came Himself to teach us the knowledge of self." Who better knowing of who we are than God Himself? He has declared that we are descendants of the Asian black nation and of the tribe of Shabazz. Who is the tribe of Shabazz? The tribe of Shabazz originally was that tribe that came with the earth, or this part, 66 trillion years ago, in a great explosion that divided it into two parts, one called earth, one called moon. Of course, he said we were the first to discover the fertile Nile Valley, the holy city of Mecca, and also that dissatisfied scientists 50,000 years ago, Shabazz, they took us down to subsequently into the jungles of East Asia, which you call today, scholars call Africa. We're going to deal with all that.
Come on now.
25,000 year cycles,
Let's get to it.
50,000 universal history of cycles that we were written, and also we're going to go back to the 66 trillion years ago, and we're going to go back even before that. Now, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that the earth and the moon was once one planet. If you look at our flag of Islam, sun, moon, and star, the moon is in our flag. Now, Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that the moon in our flag represents equality. The moon also represents the womb. Every 28 days, the moon makes a rotation around the earth in accord with the woman's menstrual cycle that happens every 28 to 30 days. He said the moon's representation also represents the pouring forth of the earth's or nation's blood every 28 to 30 days, in accord with the moon's rotation around the earth every 28 days. That moon represents equality. We, of course, are taught that the black man and woman has been, or have not had equality in 400 years. We have been deprived of equality. The earth and the moon was once one planet, and in the great explosion that happened 66 trillion years ago, all of the water, the moon was blasted away, and all of the water that was on that part poured to this part.
Teach.
Is that right? The reason why we have a moon, the moon and the sun has a magnetic attraction to the earth. If it wasn't for, according to the law of physics and science, because of the earth, the water, if it was not for the magnetic pull and attraction of the earth, pardon me, the sun and the moon upon the earth's waters that causes them to shift back and forth, the waters would seek its own level and drown out civilization. So it is the moon that gives us the clearest sign of balance and equality that keeps the earth's waters in check. That's why in our flag of Islam, the moon is symbolized. Represents equality. Now, look at this. 66 trillion years ago, the black man was here.
Yes. Yes, sir.
At that time, there was no brown, there was no red, there was no yellow man, there was no white man.
Come on now.
It was only the original man.
Teach, beloved.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us there were 5 billion of the original black man on the planet, all divided into 12 tribes each. And there was a scientist that was at the head of each one of those 12 tribes. Okay?
Okay.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us, as well as the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, who is the chief exponent and witness bearer of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, taught us that at that time on the planet, the people, the original peoples of the earth, knew God. There was no such thing as God being a mystery at that time. God walked among the people and they knew him, which bears witness to the Bible, where it says that God walked among the people and the people knew him as God. Then there was a particular specified time when it appeared that God had absented himself or withdrew his presence, and has been a carefully guarded secret. He's taught us that we are the Asiatic black nation of the earth and the tribe of Shabazz. Now, look at this. Shabazz was the first to discover the fertile Nile Valley, the holy city of Mecca. We had always lived there. There never was a time when the black man was not present. Not only did we create the planet, he came with it, has always been a part of it, and existed before it. In the primal, pre-cosmic space, the elements of darkness in the atoms and the molecules and the compounds was the first form of man before the atom burst forth and matured into a black man. Now, that was over 78 trillion years ago, eons of time.